Hey guys, we just watched the best emotional Frankenstein film ever created. Watch this.
Hey guys, today we watched Frankenstein on Netflix. It's about the life of Victor Frankenstein, an egotistical, brilliant scientist who's experimenting in new life, and it results in dangerous consequences.
Very dangerous.
It came out November 7th, 2025, which was Friday. It's directed, written, and produced by Guillermo del Toro. It's based on Mary Shelley's original novel from 1818. It stars Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, and Mia Goth. The genre is gothic sci-fi. It's rated R, and the runtime is 2 hours and 32 minutes.
And honestly, it doesn't feel like that long once you're watching it. It's actually really, really good.
It does sometimes. It didn't, honestly. I had her pause it and go, where are we at? And there was only like 34 minutes left. And I was like, oh, okay, wow. What drew us to this movie was obviously that it was horror-esque in general, being around Halloween time. And Halloween time was, what, a week ago? But
in our hearts, it's always Halloween.
it is. You should see our house. But the fact that it was Frankenstein and that it's a gothic film created by Guillermo del Toro, and it was nothing like what we were expecting.
Nothing at all.
The story was easy to follow. It kept our interest from beginning to end. Nothing dragged on or felt rushed. But the movie was quite long, which was okay because there were several stories to tell, and it told it well. The pacing was perfect because of how long it was. If it slowed down any, it would have been really long. It would have dragged on. It would have felt like forever.
The way that Guillermo del Toro,
Guillermo.
I will never say it right. I'm so sorry, but the
L's
way
make a
the way that he
She's literally in Spanish right now.
and I'm not doing well. But the way that he told the story, it did not make it feel like it was over 2 hours long. He paced it really, really well, and it was like a two-parter story. Three-parter story. So
Rosetta Stone has failed her.
But it was fast-paced, and it did not feel like it was that long. So
there was a prelude which told Victor's story as a boy, and then there was Victor's story, and then there was the creature's story.
Yeah.
The characters were extremely believable, and not many films like this give such backstories to their main characters. Without a doubt, Jacob Elordi's performance stood out the most. He did phenomenally, and you really connect with this character as the creature. A lot of times they call him the monster or Frankenstein's monster. A lot of people just call him Frankenstein, which is wrong.
I really hope that this film, if at all, gets some awards, and I really hope that Jacob gets an award for his
Seriously.
acting in this. He did fantastic playing this role.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mia Goth does well. I wouldn't say she has a huge part in this. I mean, she does talk a lot, but her character is classy and intelligent. She's a rare pop of color in the dark, is what I thought. There was a lot of darkness, a lot of shadows in this film, and she is, I think, the only color in this movie.
Which is...
I mean, it's not a black and white film, but I mean, it's a dark film, and she is very bright.
That would be very, symbolic, the symbolism in this, because...
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, the creature is very...
He takes to her.
Yeah, very sad. He has a very, very darkness that he goes through, and her pop of color and personality really...
They have to lighten him.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
We didn't do that on purpose.
The symbolism that Del Toro, I'm not even going to try to say his first name, how he plays that, he does it really, really well.
Jacob Elordi is 6'5". He's filmed at certain angles to make him look even taller, which makes sense because in the book, the monster is 8 feet tall. He's actually taller just by himself than Boris Karloff was in full monster costume. And Boris Karloff wore 4-inch boots to make him even taller. And if you don't know, Boris Karloff is the OG Frankenstein monster from 1931. And Jacob went under 11 to 12 hours of prosthetics every day that he played the creature. He said in an interview it would take even 6 hours just to do his hands and his face. There's a lot of scenes where he's wearing like a jacket or some cover-ups or clothes, and just his face and hands are exposed. Face and hands.
Hands.
Face.
Hands
and face.
Oh my gosh.
Visuals and style. The film takes place in 1857, so it really has to look the part. It does really well with the attire and the modes of transportation of that time, as well as keep a dark, gritty, gothic look. The lighting and color was perfect for all of that. If body parts and insides of humans gross you out, you might want to pass on that. But it's pretty gory, but it's incredible. There's not a, I mean, there is some blood and bloody scenes, but when it's inside the body, there's not a ton of blood.
There is one specific scene where they do quite a bit with body parts.
Yeah.
But if you know the story of Frankenstein
There's
and
body
his
parts.
monster or creature or whatever you want to call it, but with this one it's the creature, I mean, you have to know how the creature is built.
Yeah.
So they do really well at showing that.
Yep. The creature looks very similar to the movie Prometheus, which is funny because the modern Prometheus is what Mary Shelley's 1818 book is actually called, in addition to Frankenstein. It's called, I think I said Frankenstein. It's called Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus is what her 1818 book is actually called.
And it's crazy how much the creature looks like the movie Prometheus. Like you said that, I'm going to guess.
I just said that.
I'm sorry. But it's just...
Where have you been?
It's I'm wondering if someone
Worked on that department.
worked in that department. You and I were talking about that while we were watching the movie, and I brought that up. I'm wondering if somebody somewhere had somewhere to do with that, because it looked a lot like that.
Yeah. That fell. The creature looks human, like he should, not like the stereotypical 1930s Frankenstein and several Frankensteins after that, not similar
Like
to
the square head.
Yeah, similar to the monsters. It doesn't look like that, which makes sense because he would have human body parts.
Yep.
There's a couple scenes where animals get hurt. It's very graphic, and sometimes they're obviously CGI, and it looks CGI, but it's pretty cool. But it's like, oh,
Very graphic.
yeah. But there are some nice CGI human elements that were pretty great. This is cool. Del Toro didn't want to do a lot of visual effects, and they had this huge ship, and they actually built a huge ship on a backlot in Toronto.
Very impressive.
Very cool. Sound and music. The music is perfect for every scene. It brings you in. It builds the exact amount of tension and emotion I believe Del Toro fully intended. Alexandre Duplat
Blah.
actually has a soundtrack for this film. I found it on Spotify.
Very classical type music.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a cinematic, theatrical soundtrack. I think the idea the film was exploring was Del Toro's reoccurring pattern that monsters can heal physically but never emotionally. In this film, the creature can basically regenerate. He can heal. And other stuff happens to Victor. But they're both scarred emotionally, and it shows.
But I personally think that anybody can be a monster, really. Not just the creature itself. I got from that.
Yeah. Victor's dad was a monster, and he treated
Not
Victor,
a monster as in the creature.
right, he was a bad guy.
Bad person as in
And
monster.
he treated Victor like a bad guy, who treated the monster like a bad guy. And so the creature didn't want to be treated like that anymore. And he was very scared of Victor. And so everyone thought, because of who he was, that he was a monster. But he just wanted to be loved. You didn't want to piss him off, because he did have a side to him. There was an element to him where, I guess Del Toro did this. He had a glow to his left eye. When that would glow, you knew it was his dark side, and he was pissed, and he was going to cause some damage. But other than that, he was kind-hearted.
He just wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
And that's that, have you ever seen those photos of like the psychology photos where you see like a parent treat a child a certain way with anger, and then they grow up and treat their child with anger, and eventually that child's like, I've had enough. I need to break that chain. And I just felt so badly for this creature. He just wanted to be loved so badly. I just wanted to give him a hug.
It definitely made me think a little deeper than the average film, for sure.
Yeah.
Emotional reactions. There's shock from a few scenes, a laugh or two. It's not a comedy. There's very little laughter. But there's a lot of sadness for the creature.
Yeah.
And there's nearly a tear at the end. Some people will definitely cry at the end. I heard another reviewer say that it was a gothic romance. It's not a freaking romance at all. It's not.
I personally did feel like there might have been a missed opportunity.
Absolutely. There was a missed opportunity for romance. I believe Victor, I mean, if you know the story, Victor is obviously interested in Elizabeth. In some movies, or some books, he marries Elizabeth.
Yep.
But in this movie, Elizabeth is his brother's fiance. He tries to court Elizabeth,
and she is completely just turned off by him. She does not like him.
There's no romance here.
But I think that the missed opportunity was...
You can't say it.
I can't say. I'm so sorry. Watch it. You'll see the missed opportunity, and please put it in the comments, and you will... Please let us know what you think that missed opportunity could have been, because it kind of frustrates me a little bit what that missed opportunity could have been.
And here's the worst part, is that Del Toro has no desire. He said this is the end of this film. He has no desire to make a sequel. So that sucks. There were several really cool moments, but I would call this... They're cool action moments. But I would call this a sad film, just from the traumatic life that Victor had as a child and how he carries that trauma over to the creature and how lonely the creature was. Overall, this film was pretty melancholy. But that doesn't mean like, I don't want a sad movie. It's a good film.
It's really good.
Direction and writing, the storytelling, even though it's a 207-year-old story, it felt like its own creation.
Yep.
The dialogue felt extremely natural. As far as standout scenes, when Victor treats the creature like his father did when he misbehaved, you really see who the real monster is, especially when you see the fear the creature has for Victor. And the ending is just so touching. Like I said, it nearly brought a tear to my eye. Overall impact, there's two other movies. There's Frankenstein from 2015, and there's Depraved from 2019 that show modern-day takes of Frankenstein's creation and his point of view. But I feel like this film does it best because, one, it had a larger budget and it had a much larger runtime to tell a much longer story, and the visuals and story are simply more impressive. My favorite element, the development of the creature. Seeing the film from the creature's perspective was so great. And the building that Victor sets his lab up in says Aqua Est Vita on the front, which means water of life, and that's where he creates his creature. So I thought that was a nice Easter egg. My least favorite was the creature goes into a building that had a massive explosion. It destroyed concrete. It blew someone in half, basically. And then he walks back in there a long time later, and there's like a book that's basically untouched, and there's a letter that just has just a corner singed. It literally has wax seals on each corner of it. It was in a fire.
And it was
the
untouched.
Wax seals are untouched. I literally went to ChatGPT and was like, all right, look, could this happen? And ChatGPT was like, this is where practicality and storytelling just don't match. And I was like, okay, I thought so. So now off to our recommendation. Oh, private notes. The budget was $120 million, and in just 3 weeks, they just put it in theater for 3 weeks, and it made profit. It made $313 million.
Not only profit, a lot of profit.
And so it headed right over to Netflix after that. So, recommendation.
And since it's on streaming now, this is going to be either a stream or a don't stream, and please stream it.
Definitely stream it.
And please like it, because it is a have to see.
You know how you can one thumb, which means like it, and two thumbs, which means love it? We loved it.
Yeah, we did a double thumb right there. So, but anyways, thank you for coming to see us on our awesome couch. And remember, and don't forget, you guys matter. And if you guys have any recommendations on what we should view next and recommend, please leave a comment below. But anyways, it was good seeing you guys. And
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.